and we can get started with the demo. So here I am in WebCenter. I'm going to start by showing off the primary features of search analytics. The backbone of search analytics is the search telemetry. Going to this page lets admins view all of the search telemetry that's been gathered by search analytics. You can see here a table with some of the various metrics we track, like the query date, query text, the user, how long the search took to execute, how many results were returned, as well as how many items the user clicked on and what type of search it was. You can also click on a row to view more detailed information like the search engine, sorting options, the result template, as well as if they clicked on any items, you can see what action they took, what item they clicked on, as well as what rank in the search results that item had. This telemetry is then fed into what we call our analytics dashboard. And this page shows various custom analytics views that give more kind of insightful analysis of that raw search data. You can see we've broken it out into multiple tabs. This first tab is based on search quality. So we've got things like searches that hadn't returned no results, common queries in the system, as well as using that action rank telemetry. We can track how many actions in the system were below a certain threshold of rank, as well as the average action rank for all actions taken. The performance tab, as you would expect, focuses on search performance, namely the duration of how long searches take. So similarly, you can see a table showing slow searches and a pie chart with searches below a certain threshold, as well as the average query duration, the most active users in the system, as well as a table showing on average and in total how many seconds users are spending per week just waiting for searches to finish executing. We also provide some more historical views. These let you view data over a longer period of time so you can more easily see search trends across a few different views. Things like just number of queries, number of unique users, and the average query duration and action rank. The fourth tab here, feedback, ties into the next major feature of search analytics, which is the feedback. So I'll come back to this tab in a bit, but for now I'm going to jump over to a different window and show something from like an end user's perspective. So let's say I'm a salesperson and I'm looking for a standard sales proposal. So I'm going to do a search for proposal. And I'm looking for this standard sales proposal down here. But as you can see, it's a little low in the list. And there's a bunch of stuff above it that doesn't look super relevant to me. So if I go over to the corner here, you can see we've added a feedback button. If I click this, it'll bring up a dialog where I can give a reason for this feedback and then leave comments about the search feedback. So which search results seem irrelevant? So I'll say most of the results above the standard proposal. This also will take a screenshot of the search page and save that along with the feedback. So if I click send, it will then submit that feedback, give me a nice little message. And you can also configure on the component, you can configure users that will get emails whenever feedback is submitted in the system so that they can more easily respond to the feedback promptly. I'm going to head back over to my admin view. If I click view search feedback, this will bring me to the feedback administration page. And here we can see that feedback that I just submitted. So if I click here, we can see some of these details, the reason, comment. You can also see that same screenshot that was saved, as well as a quick view into the search telemetry for that search. So everything that I've shown up until now has been part of Search Analytics. Now I'm going to start to show some features of Enhanced ElasticSearch and how that product can help admins make changes to address the feedback and analytics seen here. So I'm going to take another look at the screenshot here. So one thing that I notice is that a lot of the items that are higher up are older, whereas this standard sales proposal is from this year. So that could be, that's one thing that I'll want to take a look at. So I'm going to go over to the Enhanced Elasticsearch configuration page. This page lets me configure the boosting options for Elasticsearch on a per field basis, as well as I can do a search preview in here to recreate the same search that feedback came from. So if I do that same search for a proposal, I can see the results in the same order, as well as the scores that actually are coming from Elasticsearch. So you can see directly how Elastic is scoring all of the documents and understand why things are ordered the way they are. I can see here that proposal is in the title, but it's not getting a lot of influence. So the first thing I'm going to try is taking the DDoc title and increasing the weight of this field. And just with that one change, we can see that this has already moved higher up into the results, and the title is getting a lot more influence. But remember that a lot of the items at the top also seem like they were older. So I'm also going to go into date and add a recency boost to this field. And now we can see that our standard sales proposal is all the way up to the top of the list. You can see here how that recency boost is impacting the score. And I think for now I'm satisfied with those changes. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to go back to the feedback page, open up this feedback again, and then clicking here will let me send an email to this user directly to let them know that I've hopefully resolved their issue. I can also make some notes here that are stored just kind of internally for other admins to make note of what I did. So I'll say that I increased the weight of the title and added a recency boost. And I can click Save and Resolve here to save those notes and mark this feedback as resolved. As long as I'm in here, I also see that there's another piece of feedback. Let's take a look at this one. It looks like someone was searching for a severe weather policy, but the item they were looking for was 13th in the list, which is a little lower than we might like. If I take a look at the screenshot, scroll down, I can see this item is from 2013, so it's older, but sometimes you have older documents that are still relevant. So in this case, I think I'm going to add a best bet for this item. So I'm going to close out of here and I'm going to head over to the best bets configuration page. If I click add, then I can add a new best bet for this search. So I'll set a search term for it. I'll just say severe weather. And then I can click here to select an item for this search. So search for severe weather. Then I can head over to the document in here somewhere. Maybe if I search, yeah, there we go. There's an older one, so at the top. So if I select this, then it will use that item and automatically populate the title. I can also give it a little description. We'll go with like severe weather policy, stay safe. I can set the match to phrase so that anytime someone searches for severe weather, like if they search for severe weather policy or things like that, this will still match. And I can also add an icon to this best bet. So I've got here a little kind of weather icon. I'll go ahead and drag that over, and I'll go ahead and save that. So now let's do a search for that and see how that best bet looks. And you can see here that this best bet is now above the search results and highlighted properly with that description and icon that I saved. And there are quick links to view the document and go to the content info. And as long as I'm in here, I'm also going to show off the new snippet view that we have made. As you can see, this is a kind of cleaner, more user-friendly search interface, kind of like with snippets displayed, kind of how you might expect for like Google or maybe from a Mindbreeze. We wanted to create this because I'm sure many of you know that just having a better user interface can go a long way in improving the search experience. There's one more use case I want to show, and I want to show how you can use the analytics dashboard to make more proactive changes rather than necessarily always waiting for feedback to be coming in from users. So here in the queries without results, I can see the query UCM has been searched for a few times and isn't returning any results. I'm sure many of you know UCM is basically like a synonym for WebCenter. So let's go ahead and add a synonym for that. If I head back to the Enhanced ElasticSearch config page and go over to the Synonyms tab, I can click here and add a new synonym. I'll go with WebCenter. Click it as equivalent so that everything is the same. UCM, and it's also used to be known as Stellent, so we can add that in there as well. And I can save that. So setting it up like this will mean that any search for one of these terms will also match all of the others. So if I do a quick search for UCM, you can see that this search is also matching items that have WebCenter in them. So there are more features to these products, but for now, I think I'm going to wrap up this demo